So Dylan over at the Noble Records YouTube channel has started a thread video in which participants attempt to link 20 albums together by shared musicians. So I'll be doing just that with metal and hard rock albums, mostly metal, connecting each record to the next to form a sort of 6 degrees type of chain. Should be tough, but also a lot of fun, so stick around. So as a metal fan of the nerd persuasion, I do like to make connections with albums, bands, and musicians. I mean, who's guesting on a record, who played in more than one band, who did an album I didn't previously know about, all of that. So Dylan's Chain Challenge was right up my alley. I love stuff like this, and I think some of you out there do as well, which is why we're going to go through 20 albums and see how they all tie together, from the first record to the last. So let's do this. So let's start with Alcatraz. This is No Parole from Rock and Roll, featuring a young guitar player named Yngwie J. Malmsteen. Of course, you also know that Yngwie J. Malmsteen was in a little band called Steeler. Right, here's their debut album with singer Ron Keel. Now, you might remember after this, Ron Keel did a band of his own. It's called Keel. This is their fourth album, self-titled. This album also has keyboardist Scott Warren. And Scott Warren would go on later, do a little stint with Dio, namely on Holy Diver Live. Warren was also bandmates at this time with one Rudy Sarzo. Rudy Sarzo, of course, is from Quiet Riot. This is Metal Health, great album, of course. Sarzo is bandmates here with Frankie Banali. Frankie Banali and a whole lot of other people. We're on Hearing Aid. This is Stars. Banali shares a lot of record space, at least a single for the song We're Stars, with one Brad Gillis. And although I could have picked Night Ranger, it's a lot easier to pick Ozzy Osbourne. This is Speak of the Devil, his live album with Black Sabbath songs he's doing. Brad Gillis is on this record with Don Airey. Don Airey, of course, is a keyboardist. He's been in a number of bands. But one band he was in was Rainbow, and this is Castle Donington, Monsters of Rock. Rainbow is on here. A bunch of bands are, including the Scorpions, which brings us to Klaus Meine, their vocalist. And why not show a Scorpions album? This is Animal Magnetism. Not only Klaus Meine is on this album, but drummer Herman Rarebell. Before I get to the next record, I should mention you should go check out Jeff's Scorpions Deep Dive at the Gas Masks and Hand Grenades YouTube channel. Definitely good stuff. Anyways, Herman Rarebell, yes, he's on this album, but he's also on another album, namely his own solo project called Herman the German and Friends. Lots of guests on here, Don Dawkins on here, but I'd rather talk about Jack Russell. Jack Russell, of course, is the vocalist for Great White. And what do you think I'm going to pick next? This is Great White's self-titled album. Jack Russell's on here, but also drummer Gary Holland. Gary Holland not only did drums for other people, however, he also did some backing vocals on this Twisted Sister album. This is Come Out and Play, an okay album, but not really crazy about it, as I've mentioned before. Another guest on this record is, of course, Alice Cooper. He's on the song Be Cruel to Your School. Of course, if we're going to talk about Alice Cooper, why not show an Alice Cooper album? This is Hey Stupid. Of course, he's the lead singer. One guitar player on this record, he's a guest on the song Feed My Frankenstein, is, of course, Steve Vai. Steve Vai has a record as well. This is Passion and Warfare. He has guests on this one as well. The one I want to mention, of course, is Mr. David Coverdale. He does backing vocals on this record, but you might know him better from Whitesnake. This is their 1987 album. As the Europeans know it, we just call it their self-titled here in the States. Coverdale's on this album, of course. There are a bunch of other people. On one particular song, there is a solo, a guitar solo, on Give Me All Your Love. And that guitar player is Mr. Vivian Campbell. Of course, I could pick Dio again, but why would I do that? Vivian Campbell's on this record. This is the new wave of British heavy metal, 79 Revisited. He was in a band before Dio called Sweet Savage. The song is Eye of the Storm. Great song, by the way. Great band. You should also check into them when you have the chance. Many bands on this record, including Girl School. They do the song Demolition Boys. And if we're going to talk about Girls' School, we probably should talk about this little EP. It's a 10-inch EP. It's called the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. This links Girls' School to Motorhead, especially one Lemmy Kilmister. And of course, Motorhead brings us to Motorhead. Obviously, Lemmy Kilmister's in this band. Filthy Phil Taylor's in this band, but also Fast Eddie Clarke. And no, I'm not going to go with Fastway. You might think I was going to do that. Instead, I'm going to go with a guest appearance in this box set. This is Saxon with the Eagle Has Landed 40 Live. Clarke does guitars on their cover of Ace of Spades. Great Motorhead song, covered by Saxon. Of course, the lead singer of this band is one Biff Byford. And Biff Byford did his own solo album. You might know it. It's called School of Hard Knocks. So there we are. 20 albums, right? Count them up. Pretty sure it's 20. Of course, I would wholeheartedly recommend trying out this challenge. I'll put a link to the original thread video in the description of my video, so you can click over there and watch it. Also, check out Dillon's entire channel. Noble Records is not just a YouTube channel, but also his record store in North Carolina, which I'd love to visit one day. Good channel too. Very much enjoy watching Dillon's videos. As for my channel and who I am, my name is Matt. This is the Accusation Network, where each and every week I do videos on metal vinyl collecting. I also cover the subjects of classic and modern metal in general. If you like the sound of that, definitely give this video a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And you know what? Maybe share some videos with some of your friends. Definitely appreciate that. And of course, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.